Black Eye Perspective. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Black Eye Perspective. Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Black Eye Perspective. Well, hello and good afternoon. This is Monday and we are here live. We are looking at a couple of stories that went on over the weekend. But what we're going to do first is we're going to start with some of the things that were going on last week that literally led up to some of the events that did take place, starting this past Wednesday and then moved on up until Friday. We had a lot of things that went on. So with that said, let's just get right into it. Last Monday, I believe it was Monday, we did a story where we covered the release of illegal immigrants that were released into the Laredo area, as well as to another major part of Texas. Well, there was some hubbub or some stuff that took place after that that is sort of concerning to me. Here we go. Let's just go on ahead and get right into the news. We're going to start with the story from last week, and then I want to show you guys how things unfolded. It's absolutely amazing. Only in America could any of these things take place. But here we go. This was the story we showed last week. Black Eye Perspective. Border officers are releasing illegal immigrants who test positive for COVID-19 to a nonprofit organization, Texas authorities said this week. The immigrants were handed over to the Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley, which arranged for their stay in La Joya, Texas hotel that it rented out entirely, La Joya police officials have stated. Quote, "We did not know this. No one told the city of La Joya. No one told the police department that these people were here, and no one told us that these people were possibly ill," close quote. That came from Sergeant Manuel Casas. The situation came to light on July 26 after a concerned citizen reported to the police that she saw members of a family who were coughing and sneezing at a local Whataburger location. The management at the restaurant where the incident was reported said they wanted the family to leave because they were disregarding other people's health. The officer went to the family, who told them that they had been apprehended by Border Patrol agents just days before, but were released because they had tested positive for COVID-19. The family was being housed at the Texas Inn Hotel, which authorities later learned had been completely booked to house such immigrants. The officers later learned that the illegal immigrants being detained by Border Patrol were given over to the nonprofit to be placed in hotels in La Joya as well as McAllen, Texas. Judge Richard Cortez says, quote, "We've been doing well as a community in slowing the spread of this deadly virus, but ill-conceived policies by both federal and state governments are beginning to have serious consequences on Hidalgo County, and I call on the federal immigration officials to stop releasing infected immigrants into our community," close quote. The charity's executive director, Sister Norma Pimentel, told the Border Report that the group had been helping to house the COVID-19 positive immigrants in hotels, and Pimentel said that a security guard is now at the La Joya Hotel to keep immigrants inside. Texas authorities have begun taking matters into their own hands, arresting immigrants on trespassing charges. The city of Laredo, Texas, sued the Biden administration last week in a bid to stop the transfer of thousands of illegal immigrants from among those apprehended in the Rio Grande Valley and Del Rio to the city. For TLP News and Entertainment Headlines, this is Felicia Lockhart. Okay, now, we just watched that really quickly, right? Okay, so now I'm going to give you guys a quick timeline. So that happened. And after that happened, it would appear that Governor Greg Abbott got a little smart. Now, I don't know why, I can't actually add any of my own personal understanding to this, but what I will do is give you, just like Joe Friday, just the facts, ma'am. So let me give you just the facts because I want you to see how this all ties together. So now that was done. We did that video, and then shortly after that, it was an onslaught. It looked like everybody wanted for somebody in Texas to become aware of this and begin to fix it. And you would hope so, because this is a very serious issue that we're dealing with. So with that said, Texas Governor Greg Abbott decided to go on ahead and create and write a executive order. He sure did. He did that last Wednesday. Okay, it says Texas Governor Greg Abbott issues an executive order limiting transportation of illegal aliens. Here's what it says, but it's actually the proper word is illegal immigrants. But I think the imperative thing is people who are not supposed to be here. Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued an executive order on July 28th restricting the ground transportation of illegal immigrants. Okay, we want to keep all these channels up, so let's go ahead and play that game. Of illegal immigrants. Now, what ended up happening was, after he wrote that, he also stated that he was giving permission for the Customs and Border Protection agents to detain any vehicles that they saw that they felt was possibly, had something to do with it. So it basically says the order says that in order for them not to have this passing around and going everywhere, we're just going to stop it at the border. Whoever's been detained at the border, let them stay at the border, and we'll deal with them there, but do not put them in private vehicles. So that's very important to remember. So it says the dramatic rise in unlawful border crossings, this is a quote, the dramatic rise in unlawful border crossings has also led to a dramatic rise in the candy bar cases among the unlawful migrants who have made their way into our state, and we must do more to protect Texans from this virus and reduce the burden on our communities. Abbott is the person who made that statement. So the executive order will reduce the risk, he continues, of COVID-19 exposure in our communities. The order prohibits anyone, listen to this very carefully because it's going to help you when I show you the picture of what's going to happen next. The order prohibits anyone other than federal, state, or local officials from transporting migrants detained by the CBP for crossing the border illegally, who are subject to expulsion under the federal Title 42 order. The Texas Department of Public Safety is directed to stop any vehicle upon reasonable suspicion of a violation of the order and to reroute such a vehicle back to its point of origin or a port of entry if a violation is confirmed, the order states. The governor also authorized the DPS to impound vehicles that refuse to comply with rerouting the orders. Okay. So basically, let me make sure I get this right. If you are driving, the only people who can drive anybody coming from that border would be considered only law enforcement, right? Okay. Well, do you remember the name of the sergeant that was listed in the video we just did? His name was Manuel Casas, and he is a sheriff. I digress. He's a sergeant there in that city. All right. So let's take a look and see if we can find anything special about this great guy, because this great guy here, I mean, he's a police. He can do something. Of course he can. So let's just take a gander, shall we? All right. So Manuel Casas, what do we know about him? Here we go. This is Manuel Casas. All right. It will not show the video. They've removed the video, but I do have this story. So this story comes from the CBS affiliate there in Texas. CBS 4 News posted on May 31st, 2017, quote, a Mission Police Department sergeant is suspended with pay pending the outcome of an investigation into a Facebook post, according to the Mission Police Department news release. Chief of Police Robert Dominguez learned on Monday that a Facebook video depicting Sergeant Manuel Casas, and another man rapping to music, drinking alcoholic beverages, and displaying what appears to be a clear plastic baggie containing a green leafy substance, close quote, according to the news release. Dominguez has ordered an internal investigation into the incident, according to the news release. And then it goes on here to say, quote, the mission of the police department is following civil service law and addressing this particular case and affording the city of Mission employee due process under the law. So they're saying, hey, we see this happened. We simply want to give this guy the opportunity to do what's right. And we're going to investigate it, but we're going to investigate it with pay. He's going to get paid for this. We're going to make sure that we take care of him. We don't want him to miss a beat, right? I mean, you would hope that if somebody suspended you at your job, that's what they did. And that's what they did for him. So now, fast forward to where we are today. He is now the sergeant of that area. What area? Well, the area that just got through taking all of the individuals and giving them to somebody else for them to transport them where? To the hotel. So he is the gentleman who said, I didn't know anything about it. Nobody knew anything about it. Nobody here in the city knew about it. We don't know how those people got in that hotel. We just don't know. And we're not going to allow anybody to come back in here and do this again. Well, let's just go and see exactly what was he doing when he was doing what he got caught doing. How about that? Let's check it out. Here we are. This is him right here. That's him. This is him. This is him. This is the strange leafy subject, better known as devil lettuce. That's the strange this is the substance, but this is him. Now, these videos of him with the music playing in the background, the rap music playing in the background, have subsequently been deleted, and you cannot find them, and I can understand why. Nobody probably wants to, to see that. I want to see it. And so because of that, they don't have it. So the only thing that we have right now is just the pictures, but that's who is responsible for transporting the people in that case. Now, why do I bring that up? Well, I bring that up because the individuals that you have been transporting, those folks that they've been transporting are being taken to a shelter, as it were. But this particular shelter is receiving our funds as taxpayers. Yes, they are. Of course they are. They're getting tax payments to them. They're getting taxpayers' money to fund their organization. And the organization is all dressed up in purple. Did you see it? It was so pretty. It was all dressed up in purple. All of it. All of it. Dressed in purple. Come on now. I told you guys, you got to read between the lines with me. So this particular group is all dressed up in purple, and they have been taking people from the border for quite some time. And it is also stated that there have been close to 20,000 illegal individuals coming across that border, overwhelming the state of Texas per week. 20,000 per week. Okay, so what did we do as a country after Governor Greg Abbott got wind of this situation? What did we do? Well, I'll tell you what we did. This is what we did. We allowed the DOJ to get on top of things to make sure that everything was going to be all right. Yes, we did. And here it is. The DOJ sues Texas over Abbott's order to restrict illegal immigrants amid the pandemic. The Justice Department has filed a federal lawsuit against the state of Texas and Governor Greg Abbott over an executive order that he issued to limit the ground transportation of illegal immigrants. Abbott said that the executive order that he issued on July 28th is intended to, quote, reduce the risk of COVID-19 exposure. Good for you, close quote, in Texas communities amid the increase of the coronavirus infections in the Lone Star State, including those among the illegal immigrants. So Governor Greg Abbott is doing a good thing. Sips coffee slowly. He is making sure that people don't catch this and that he's trying to slow down the spread because, of course, our wonderful, illustrious president, the bestest president on the planet, he said that he does not want people to still get this and he wants to stop it. He wants to stop it. Exactly right. I mean, our president is so concerned about this and God bless President Biden, right? Because he wants to make sure that everybody in America is safe. Meanwhile, on Friday, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland asked Abbott to rescind the executive order and threatened to file a lawsuit on July 29th. The DOJ filed its complaint with the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas in El Paso on July the 30th. That sounds a bit unique. I thought we had people running around passing this stuff around like a doobie at the... I thought this was being passed around like a doobie at Woodstock. I mean, come on now. Surely we've got to come together, man, and get it together. We all got to stand together. But it went on to say that the body of the lawsuit says, quote, no state may obstruct the federal government in the discharge of its constitutional responsibilities. The DOJ's complaint read. It continues. The executive order violates the Supremacy Clause and causes injury to the United States and individuals whom the United States is charged to protect, jeopardizing the health and safety of non-citizens in federal custody, risking the safety of federal law enforcement personnel and their families, and exacerbating the spread of the COVID-19 within our communities. It continues with, the executive order obstructs federal government arrangements with non-governmental, that's a key point, Purple, that's a key point, with non-governmental partners and directly interferes with the administration of federal immigration law. This court should declare the executive order to be invalid and enjoin its enforcement, close quote. Abbott's order states that no person other than 1. Federal, 2. State, 3. Or local law enforcement officials can give ground transportation to the illegal immigrants who have been detained by Customs and Border Control or the CBP agents. It also grants the state's Department of Public Safety the authority to stop and send back any vehicle suspected of carrying illegal immigrants. The government regularly employs contractors, to transfer. Nah, that ain't no contractor, though. In a statement responding to the suit, the Texas governor asserted his authority under the law to protect the people of Texas. He says, quote, I have the authority and the duty under the Constitution of the United States and of Texas to protect Texans and our nation. I have also the authority under the long-established emergency response laws to control the movement of people to better contain the spread of a disaster, such as those known to have COVID-19, close quote. He continues with, my duty remains to the people of Texas, and I have no intention of abdicating that, close quote. Abbott also went on to accuse our wonderful, awesome President Biden. How dare Abbott do this? Talk about President Biden, but this is what he says. The Biden administration, he accused them of having created a constitutional crisis between the federal government and the state of Texas. Because it has been refusing to enforce the immigration laws, he alleges that the Biden administration, quote, knowingly imports COVID-19 into Texas from across the border, willfully exposing Texans and Americans alike. What do you know? Why would he say such things? Why would he? Anybody? Anybody know? Why would he say such things? It's terrible. It's awful. I mean, what do you think about that? I don't know. How dare Texas make a logical move? You a mess, Lancelot. How dare they? Oh my, Cat says. Mama Bear, Papa Bear, hello to you. How are you? Yeah, yes, the Seymour. I see it right here. I'm with you on that one. Deplorical, how are you? Yes, it does. But the deal is they are literally attempting to shame this government of this particular state into complying to things that are not good. I'm going to just say it like that. Again, we're going to use a little, reading in between it. So that is some of the things that I wanted to bring to you guys today. I wanted to show how those pieces all piece together. Now, in tandem with that, there's one other place that actually decided, you know what, we've had enough of your shenanigans. And we're not playing with you either. So the city of Laredo, Texas, sues the Biden administration over the release of illegal immigrants crossing into the United States while COVID positive. Austin, Texas, the release of illegal immigrants crossing the border into the U.S. while they are positive or having been exposed to someone who is poses a danger to the Texas border city of Laredo, the population of 262,000 people. Now, they cannot afford to handle all of this, is what's going on. Unfortunately, the president is saddling the area's already underfunded local governments with the responsibility of handling the onslaught of the public health concerns, which they have been struggling mightily to remedy since the inception of this entire thing more than a year ago. There is no doubt that the rapidly rising volume of immigrants being brought into Laredo, which now averages between 250 and 300 per day coming into Laredo, all right? After they've been legally entered the United States through the Del Rio Grande Valley border. That's key, okay? And so this is what they're doing now. Everybody is going back and forth, suing this one suing that one. And I just want to say, knock it off. Just knock it all off. I mean, gee willikers, knock it all off. This is just too much. I just don't understand what the real deal is. Now, we're going to go and switch reels just a little bit before we close here, because we'll be closing here in a second. But we're going to switch reels. And what we're going to do now is we're going to come back up and we're going to look at what's going on up in D.C. Let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Because this just in, fully vaccinated Senator Lindsey Graham and all of the ads you can take. Girl, don't buy nothing else online, baby. Because if you buy anything else online, this is what your page going to look like. Look at all of this. Look at all that. It's going to come again. Anyway, it says fully vaccinated Senator Lindsey Graham is diagnosed with COVID-19 after spending today at the Capitol. He tweets that he got flu-like symptoms and he's going to quarantine for 10 days. So here are the bullet points to the story. All right, let's just get to the bullet points because y'all got stuff to do. All right, here's the bullet points. The bullet points are 1. The Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said on Monday that he tested positive for COVID-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms, very mild symptoms, mild flu-like symptoms, okay? And then the next point is that he says, I was just informed by the White House physician that I tested positive for COVID-19 even after being fully vaccinated, Graham said in a statement. He said he started having flu-like symptoms on Saturday night and then he went to the doctor on Monday. I'm very glad that I was vaccinated, he says, because without the vaccination, I'm certain that I would not feel as well as I do now. Lindsey Graham, Republican lawmaker, let that sink in, said. Graham's case of COVID-19 marks the Senate's first breakthrough of the coronavirus infection now that the body is almost fully vaccinated. There he is. They said they found him scurrying along on Friday without a mask. Scurrying along, just scurrying. And now they say that he has one. He's got one now. He said, I feel like I have a sinus infection. You probably do, boo-boo. And at the present time, I have mild symptoms, but I'm going to be quarantining for 10 days. I'm very glad that I was vaccinated because without it, again, I'm certain that I would not feel as I do now. I don't think you would either because, heart stop, say what? All right, so it's very good to have everybody here today. We're going to go ahead and get off. We're reaching our 25-minute mark, and I think that's long enough for a couple of news briefs, right? Just to get us caught up, just to get us acclimated and see what happened over the weekend and what just came out today. But I think that's very amazing. It's very amazing. Now, I also want to let you guys know that there's some really creepy stuff going on with regards to this new testing. But we last week here did a show and we ran a story, remember? I want to show you guys something really quickly, just to have something on the tip of your tongue, just really quickly, just so that you can put the pieces together as you hear this great new development that we all knew about last week because they told us what was going on and why they stopped it. But look, they stopped this particular deal in the month of December 2020. And you just got through seeing them stop using those particular swabs. They stopped using those particular swabs just last week, right? They claimed that they were no longer going to use them. But that actually came out in December. So I want to show you something because nothing happens by accident. Nothing should take any of us by surprise. So I'm going to show you this little story. You guys know how I am. I'm a little challenged over here on this side. So when I be fumbling around, I'm trying to get it all together. But I need to let you guys see this because this is so pivotal to what is really happening. It shows you that proper planning is really something that's good. It's good to have proper planning, right? Yeah, it's good. You got to have proper planning. So here we go, you guys. Hey, watch this video right here. And I want you guys to look at how proper planning helps. Proper planning is important. Let's see, right about here. These two funny looking characters together. All right, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Did everybody get a chance to see about the monkeypox? Because now it's up to over 200 cases throughout the United States. Ridiculous, right? So we're not, and you guys know what, I want to say something. We're not fear mongering when we giving you facts. It's just showing you what you need to go on your knees for. That's all. It just gives you information that you know that you need to get on your knees and start to begin to get a little neology going. All right. I wonder why I don't see it. Oh, I know why. Because you're not going to see everything because they stick stuff over here. So let me go over here and then I'll pull it up for you. How about that? Where them two men's? They're the men's. You ever hear them old black folks back in the old days? They make everything plural. Where's the men's? All right, here go the men's. I want you guys to see this and then I want you all to remember one important thing. What they just got through canceling out last week that goes up your nose. They canceled it out. But prior to them canceling it out, it was already stated that it would be December of 2020. Because proper planning is everything. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. When I was in radio, they used to say dead air is not your friend. So I just gave you guys some dead air. All right, there you go. A consortium of investors led by the Soros Economic Fund and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation are buying a UK-based COVID testing company, Mologic, which has developed a 10-minute coronavirus test and is best known for its deep nostril swab test for the virus. According to Forbes, citing a Monday press release, the buyout was done to increase access to affordable state-of-the-art medical technology via a rapid lateral flow test, which offers an early warning screening for COVID-19, as negative tests are going to be increasingly required to get back to normal life. The Gates and Soros collaboration is a part of an initiative, Global Access Health, which will invest at least $41 million in the deal, according to the statement. The transaction will feature a buyout of all of Mologic's existing shares, including investments held by Foresight Group LLP and Calculus Capital. Soros and Gates are a part of a billionaire community looking to direct their philanthropic efforts to the global south, referring broadly to the regions of Latin America, Asia, Africa, and Oceania that many fear will be left behind as the more affluent West accelerates its program of vaccinations, testing, and biosecure bubbles in the years ahead. For TLP News and Entertainment, this is Felicia Lockhart.
All right, now, did you see that? And do you remember last week when they said they're not going to use that they found that it is flawed, that it's just not good anymore? Does everybody remember that? I think you guys remember that, right? That's what they said. We're not doing it anymore. We're just going to stop it all. We're just going to stop it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to stop it. And that's what they are going to do. But they did not say they were going to stop it just out of the blue last week. No, sir. This was already on their website that they were going to cease to use it, which the majority of you guys probably already know. You guys probably already know, because like I always says, you guys are the smartest co-laborers on the planet. So y'all probably already knew that it was December 2020. With that said, this particular company is the company that started out with Clear Blue Easy. Do you remember Clear Blue Easy? They were the very first company that created the pregnancy testing. Ironically, the name of the company is Mologic. Mologic. Do the math. You guys, Mologic. M-O-L-O. You remember that thing that remember Molech? Yeah, it was like a big owl. Yeah, okay. I said it. So I want to thank Alan Davis. Thank you so very much, you sweetie pie. And I also want to thank, I think I saw it up here earlier, where my sister here, it's coming up, but I believe it was DC. Yes, DC, the Purple Diva. Thank you so very much for that $4.99. I so appreciate you. You know what I'm going to do with that? I'm going to get my grandsons their undergarments. I'm going to put those two together because you guys know I have custody of those two babies. I'm going to go put those to the monies that I have to go get all their undergarments with for school. And that's going to help out a great deal. No amount is too little. No amount is too little. And I miss being there too. I miss singing with you guys. I miss singing with the choir, DC, the Purple Diva. I miss that. I miss being in ministry there so much. Hey, Rachel Van Ziel, how are you? I got a hug on you guys before we leave. You guys, we're about to close out, but I cannot let you come someplace and not at least acknowledge you and hug on y'all. Deplorable San Antonio here, no visible evidence of additional immigrants here, meaning they must be moving further in than yes, they are. Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of our channel members here, if you'd like to become a channel member, you guys go right ahead and click that button that says join. I would love to have you. Right to the subscribe should be the membership. To the right of the subscribe button should be the membership. Yep, well, that's good. Miss Cat, one of our mods here, thank you so very much for being here. Let's see, Robert M. Stahl, nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see you. Dove's Eyes, they don't have it. They are here to fight. You know, there's certain words that we won't use here because you know how people be tripping. You know how they be tripping. So we're just going to leave them alone. They're going to be all right, though, because I know what the books say. Marty Lauderdale, how are you? It's so good to see you, sister. Great to see you. People need to find solutions to their troubles. There is no use to be afraid of our own shadow. Life is exciting in this moment. Make the best of it and prepare with solutions. Hallelujah. Isn't that an awesome thing to say? That is good. We need to just leave that right there. We could actually shut it down with that comment right there. You know what I mean? Let's just give it to him. Let's just give it all to our Father and just give him the praise for taking care of us, you guys. Now, y'all know we can get to shouting up in here in a minute. Anyway, we have at least one watching. Well, they'll be okay. They'll be okay. LOL, Mike. They lock their doors and keep on trucking whenever they're in our neighborhood. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't want you all to be here all day long. We did a little bit of a show earlier today when we introduced ourselves over to the Headlines with a Voice, and they are with us as well today. We want to welcome each and every one that is watching on Headlines with a Voice. I know that someone said, gee, they're having comments. There's actually a live. Yes, there is. And I believe that's because we really want you guys to know who we are, and we want to introduce ourselves so that way you guys have the opportunity to come on board and watch everything, okay? You guys take care, and remember what we always say over here, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys take care and take care of one another.
Like a perspective.
To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Like a perspective. Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day.